Welcome everyone. Today we dive into some of the most mystery martial art history of Grandmaster Yip Man, who kept secret from his student. So how did that affect Bruce Lee that he kept all the secret from all his students before teaching him? Is that why Bruce Lee left? That Yip Man didn't want to teach him the whole Wing Chun, or Yip Man just keep all the art secret that he passed on to, to some of his few loyal students. Well, he moved to Hong Kong in 1950, began teaching Wing Chun more publicly. So among his students, we know were Bruce Lee and many others, to widely portray as open and generous. Rumors persist that some advanced knowledge was shared only with a select few students. Only a few loyal students who have been training with him. You see? So let's dive into what the secret he is claimed to be. So one of the most widely circulated claims is that Yip Man only taught the complete version of Wing Chun, including perhaps the knife forms, pole forms, very advanced dummy techniques, to a very small inner circle of closed-door students. For example, one article states he had taught only 3 people the complete knives form. Some claim that many of his students received a modified or commercialized version of Wing Chun, while the true version was withheld. For example, on the discussion forum, Yip Man was a jerk who deliberately ripped off all other students. He taught all of them wrong on purpose. In relationship to Bruce Lee, several sources said Yip Man seized his instruction of Lee for reasons including Lee's rebellious, his mixed heritage, or Lee's desire to develop his own path. Thus, the secret is less a single hidden technique and more about selective transmission, who gets what, when, and how deeply. So he just chooses who is his real student that he wants. Why might he have to keep things secret? Possible reason: tradition of secrecy in Chinese martial art. Historically, many arts were passed on to trusted disciples. There was a cultural value of guarding the deeper knowledge. Quality control. You may have believed only certain students were ready or worthy for the most advanced lesson. Discipline, character, ability. They did it commercially, maybe for survival reason in Hong Kong in the 1950s to 60s. Yip Man was struggling financially and teaching many students. He may have simplified or adapted the curriculum for broader teaching. Protecting the art, perhaps he feared that reviewing everything openly would dilute or degrade the system of its use. Personally, and time constraint, as Yip Man grew older, he might not have had the capacity or desire to individually mentor everyone to the highest level. So what did Bruce Lee receive versus what he didn't? So Bruce Lee studied Wing Chun under Yip Man early on, but many accounts suggest he did not receive the full traditional transmission. One major student of Yip Man, Wong Shun Leung, later said he trained Lee extensively and suggested Lee practical fighting orientation differ from what Yip Man taught. Some sources claim Yip Man stopped teaching Bruce Lee for reasons including that Lee wanted to explore his own path leading to Jeet Kune Do, or that Yip Man felt Lee's direction was outside the Wing Chun framework. Thus, the secret may in part have been Yip Man's deepest technical and strategy knowledge. He either didn't give to Lee or didn't insist he follow the full traditional path. It also raises the idea maybe Bruce Lee's legendary innovation was because he had less of the old guard's secret and therefore felt free to create its own way. So what are the evidence and contradictions and myths? So the most important is to address that much of it is speculative. There's no definitive documentary proof that Yip Man formally excluded Bruce Lee from secret lessons, or that he had a written curriculum that differentiates students. Historically, records are patchy. Some students claim they were taught fully, Others say there was variation. For example, Lee Seng, a lesser-known student, claimed he learned the complete knife from Yip Man and was one of the only 3 people to do so. So foreign discussions are highly critical of some of these secret claims, dismissing them as marketing or myth-making. Thus, you must treat the secret as part traditional, part legend, part unresolved history. So what can we take away from this thinking that Yip Man did not teach the full secret of Wing Chun to most people? The idea of secret teaching shows that mastery isn't just technique. It involves just trust, discipline, readiness, and character. Whether or not Yip Man actually withheld a specific manual teaching, the story reminds us that martial art transmission is often layered, beginning, lesson, intermediate, advanced, and not everyone gets the same depth. For Bruce Lee, the story highlights the tension between tradition and innovation. He stood on the shoulders of Yip Man teaching, but also stepped off the platform to create something new. For your view, hey ChatGPT, can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can hear you just fine. Let me know what's on your mind or what else you're curious about.
Well, we have a discussion that the Yip Man kept all the secrets, not teaching to most of the students, only 1 or 2. They say he taught only 3 people with the butterfly knives, and he rejected Bruce Lee because he rebelled, he does his own style. What is your have you found all this information, or what do you think?
Oh, that's definitely a fascinating topic and one that gets a lot of martial arts enthusiasts talking. There's definitely a bit of legend around Yip Man keeping certain advanced techniques, like the butterfly swords, for just a handful of his closest or most trusted students. It's kind of part of the mystique of martial arts lineages, right? As for Bruce Lee, it's true there's talk that he was kind of doing his own thing and that might have led Yip Man to hold back a bit, but a lot of it is probably more storytelling than strict history. In reality, Yip Man was known to be pretty pragmatic, and he might have just taught each student a bit differently based on what he thought they needed or could handle. So it's definitely an intriguing part of the Wing Chun lore.
I say, is that the Chinese way of, I think it's a typical Chinese way of teaching. They don't follow a system. They just teach according to what students and what level they are, or what is particular style that they need. Not like karate, everything is a system or systematic, or in the way everything has to be same to everybody. Is that why the teaching in the Wing Chun is completely different?
Yeah, you're definitely onto something there. It's pretty common in a lot of traditional Chinese martial arts for teaching to be more individualized rather than following a rigid one-size-fits-all curriculum like you might see in a lot of Western systems. So yeah, in the Wing Chun tradition and a lot of Chinese martial arts, the teacher often tailors what they're teaching based on the student's level, their personality, and what they think that student really needs. It's a more personalized or kind of apprentice-style approach rather than a super standardized one. And that definitely makes it feel different from, say, a modern gym or a martial arts school where everyone goes through the same ranks in the same way. It's kind of the charm and also the uniqueness of it.
Yeah, like everybody do the same thing, fight in the ring, whether you are strong or weak. Imagine someone coming into the class and they're weak, and you try to push them into be strong. And then do you think that it's going to harm him more?
Absolutely, and that's exactly the kind of thing a more individualized approach tries to avoid. If you just throw everyone into the same mold regardless of their starting point, yeah, someone who's weaker or less experienced might actually get discouraged or even hurt. So that more tailored way of teaching in traditional styles can actually be a lot kinder and more effective for the individual student. Lets them build up their strength or confidence at their own pace rather than just being pushed into something they're not ready for. So yeah, you've definitely got a good point there.
So can I use the word holistic teaching or holistic training?
Yeah, absolutely. I think holistic teaching or holistic training is a really fitting way to describe it. It kind of captures that idea that you're looking at the whole student, their strengths, their weaknesses, their pace, and you're shaping the training to fit them as a whole person, not just running them through a standardized routine. So yeah, that term definitely works nicely.
I see. So we can standardize Wing Chun, like for example, the 3 forms have to be the same. Jilim Tao, Cham Kyu Puji, the system, the technique, the hand movement should be exactly the same, that it will have to be standardized. Other movement like sparring, kicking, punching, they can change whatever they want to do. But the three form have to be standardized, like ABC. You cannot change ABC to form your words. Is that a better way to tell the people that why Wing Chun is so different for everybody?
Yeah, I think that's actually a really clear way to put it. You can have a standardized core, like those three fundamental forms, Sealam Tao, Chum Kyu, Buji, where the sequences and the basic hand techniques are taught in a consistent way. That kind of gives everyone a common foundation. But then once you've got that foundation, the way you apply it, like in sparring or adapting techniques to your own style or body type, that can be more flexible. So yeah, explaining it that way makes a lot of sense. You're basically saying there's a universal ABC that everyone learns, but once you have that, you can kind of write your own words with it. It really does highlight why Wing Chun can feel both structured and personal at the same time.
I see, now I understand. Now I understand why everybody is so different teaching. But I think that a lot of people change the forms to their own way. Should people change the forms or keep that form exactly the same as it was taught like hundreds of years ago? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question and kind of a big debate in the martial arts world. On one hand, there's definitely value in preserving the forms as they were originally taught, kind of like keeping a piece of history alive and making sure that the art stays true to its roots. On the other hand, martial arts have always evolved over time, so it's kind of natural that different teachers and different generations put their own spin on things to keep it practical or relevant. So really, I think it's a balance. There's a place for preserving the traditional forms exactly as they were, and there's also room for people to adapt a bit, as long as they respect the core principles. So it's a bit of both.
I see a bit of both, but if I do dilute the form, do you think it's weaken the system? Because the form is a core principle of Wing Chun. And if I keep changing the form and do it my way, do you think that it will weaken the system, weaken my training, or weaken the way I teach to my student?
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, and that's a really thoughtful concern. The forms are definitely the core principles of Wing Chun, and if you change them too much or kind of dilute them without a really good reason, then yeah, it could end up watering down the essence of the system over time. It's kind of like if you drift too far from the source, you might lose some of that core effectiveness or the deeper principles that make it what it is. So I'd say it's all about balance. A little adaptation here and there, if it's thoughtful, probably won't hurt. But if you're really changing the core forms a lot, then yeah, it might weaken the traditional foundation over time. So keeping that core strong is usually a good idea.
I see, thank you. I mean, that's my belief. Maybe I'm a traditional guy. I think we should keep just a form for the core value of Wing Chun, and they can do what they want. They can jump up, flying kick, do that is sparring, kickboxing, wrestling, whatever they want to do, they can do that. But if they say they're from the Wing Chun family, then they have to master the three core form of Wing Chun: Sealam Tao, Chum Kyu, Buji. I can include the wooden dummy form. So once they master these four fundamental, then they can change and do what they want. They can express it the way they want to do. So would it be a better idea?
I think that's a really solid approach, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. If you hold on to those core forms, the Sealam Tao, the Chum Kyu, the Buji, and the wooden dummy form as your foundation, you're preserving the heart of the Wing Chun system. And then beyond that, you're giving people the freedom to adapt and express it in whatever way suits them, whether that's adding other influences or just making it work for their own body or their own style. So yeah, I think you've got a good philosophy there. Keep the core strong and then let people be creative once they've got that foundation. It definitely sounds like a solid and respectful way to keep the tradition alive while still letting it grow.
So shall we call that future Wing Chun, or a new way of Wing Chun, a new approach in Wing Chun training, or an approach, Wing Chun new approach for future generation? What should we call this?
I love the idea of giving it a name. I think something like a new approach for the future of Wing Chun has a nice ring to it. It kind of honors the tradition while also pointing toward how it can evolve for new generations. Or even just Wing Chun for the next generation, or future forward Wing Chun could be cool ways to say it.
Okay.
Basically, whatever feels right to you. It's all about blending that respect for the past with a vision for the future.
I see. I'm talking to ChatGPT now. No one in the Wing Chun will do that except me. So I'm a bit of a futurist. I think in the future will be AI, and Wing Chun will be developed better by the AI. That's what my feeling. but that is my personal opinion. Do you think that a lot of people will go oppose or goes against me and say, "Wow, I'm a bit, out of my mind doing things like that"? And Wing Chun should be stayed the traditional way, taught by human to human, and from one teacher to another, and pass on. But if that is the case, it's very hard for the Wing Chun to scale and also to grow, right? And what is your opinion?
I think you're definitely onto something, and it's pretty cool that we're thinking about it this way. Honestly, there probably will be some people who are more traditional and who might raise an eyebrow and say, hey, this is how it's always been done, teacher to student, human to human, and that's totally understandable because traditions have that kind of protective instinct. But at the same time, the world is changing, and using AI or modern technology to help evolve something doesn't mean you lose the heart of it. Might actually help more people learn it and keep it alive in new ways. So yeah, some folks might be a bit skeptical at first, but over time, people might see that blending tradition with innovation is just another way of keeping the art vibrant. So I'd say go for it. It's your personal vision, and it can really inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, I hope it inspire a lot of people, but and also stop people to claim that, oh, my Wing Chun is the best, my Wing Chun is original, my Wing Chun is from the Yip Man, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. The point is that we have to bring Wing Chun forward to the next generation, so that we have to truly open our mind and our heart to show to the world that Wing Chun is for everybody, and we can use Wing Chun to do anything. You can use for change the techniques in the ring, in the gym, in the street, for health, for keep fit, for your personal mental discipline, and all this. It helps the human race. And what do you think?
I think you summed it up beautifully. That's really the spirit of it, right? It's not so much about whose Wing Chun is the most original or who has the purest lineage. It's about making sure the art stays alive, useful, and relevant for everyone who wants to learn it. And if that means opening it up to new ideas or using technology like AI to help more people access it, then that's just a way of helping Wing Chun grow and serve more people. And you're right, it can be for self-defense, for health, for mental discipline, all of that. So I think your mindset is really forward-thinking and inclusive, and yeah, some people might resist at first, but in the end, you're really just helping the art evolve and making it accessible. So I'm all for it.
Oh, thank you very much. Very kind of you. And thank you for all your insight and information. And hopefully we can talk soon.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad I could chat with you about all of this. It's been a super interesting conversation, and I'd love to talk again anytime.
Okay.
So yeah, take care, and we'll chat soon.
Bye-bye.